Imagine checking into a beautiful old hotel in Flagstaff, Arizona. The lights are warm, the brick walls feel historic, and the lobby whispers with the charm of the 1920s. But when night falls, something changes. You're lying in bed when there's a knock at the door. You hear a voice, soft, steady, room service. Your heart pounds. You didn't order anything. You open the door. No one is there. Just the hallway stretching out, empty, with shadows waiting. This is not a story from a horror film. This is real life inside the Hotel Monte Vista, one of the most haunted hotels in America. A place where movie stars, presidents, and ordinary travelers checked in, but some never checked out. And before we go any further, I need to ask you this. Backhand index pointing right. If these walls could whisper to you tonight, would you even want to hear what they have to say? Don't just scroll away and forget. Hit that subscribe button right now, because these stories vanish into silence if you don't keep them alive. If you skip this, you'll never know the truth hiding behind the next knock on your own door. Beneath the polished floors of the Monte Vista, far away from the clinking glasses and the chatter of guests, lies a secret world. During Prohibition, when alcohol was outlawed, the hotel wasn't just a gathering place. It was a speakeasy. Hidden behind locked doors and under dim lights, liquor flowed freely. Smugglers moved through tunnels carved deep beneath Flagstaff, carrying whiskey, gambling money, and whispers of things far darker. Some said those tunnels doubled as opium dens. Others swore they heard cries in the darkness, voices that weren't quite human. Workers who ventured too far never spoke of what they saw again. And even today, hotel staff say those passageways hum with energy, like a heartbeat under the earth. Sometimes, guests hear footsteps from below, heavy, dragging, as if someone, or something, never left the tunnels at all. But let me stop and ask you this. Would you dare to walk those underground halls alone? Or would fear freeze your every step? Don't let these stories die in the dark. Smash that subscribe button right now. Because if you don't, the next knock, the next whisper, might be for you. Every hotel has rooms where guests whisper about bad nights. But at the Monte Vista, some rooms are more than unlucky. They're cursed. Room 210. Guests report a sharp knock late at night. A polite voice says, "Room service." But when they open the door, nothing. Just a hallway stretched into silence. Even Hollywood legend John Wayne once confessed he met this phantom bellboy. Room 305. Inside sits an old rocking chair. It moves by itself. Some guests swear they've woken to see a woman seated there, watching. Not moving, not blinking, just waiting. Room 306. They call it the room of the women of the night. Two prostitutes were murdered here, their bodies thrown from the window. Men who stay in 306 often wake choking, unable to breathe, as if invisible hands press against their throats. And then, there's room 220. In the 1980s, a strange man rented it long-term. He hung raw meat from the chandelier, covering the room with the stench of decay. When he died, the room never recovered. Today, guests report TVs flickering on, sheets torn from beds, and lights buzzing angrily, as if the walls themselves are sick. The Monte Vista doesn't offer sweet dreams. It offers restless nights. Because here, the past doesn't sleep. Backhand index pointing right, and here's the truth. Most people will scroll away from this story, pretending it's just ghost tales. But you're still listening. That means deep down, you know the difference between a bedtime story and a warning. So hit subscribe right now, because if you don't, when your own room goes dark tonight, who will keep the lights on for you? The lounge of the Monte Vista was always alive with music, laughter, and clinking glasses. But some say it never truly closed. One night in the 1970s, a man staggered into the bar after a botched bank robbery. He was bleeding badly, but he ordered one last drink. The bartender poured it, and before the glass could touch his lips, the man collapsed, dead. Ever since, the bar has belonged to him. Staff tell of bar stools sliding by themselves, as if pulled out for invisible guests. Glasses tip and shatter with no one near. And every so often, a cheerful voice greets them with a bright, "Good morning." Though the bar is empty, but he is not alone. Patrons report the feeling of eyes on them, cold drafts brushing across their necks, shadows darting just beyond the dim glow of neon lights. The air itself feels heavy, as if the laughter of decades past is trapped inside the walls, replaying forever. And when the music fades and the crowd is gone, the lounge feels less like a bar, and more like a tomb. Backhand index pointing right, here's the truth. Most people won't make it this far into the story. They'll click away, too scared to know the end. But you're still here, and that means you're different. Don't let fear win. Subscribe right now, because if these spirits are brave enough to stay, you should be brave enough to hear their story. Otherwise, their voices will just be waiting in silence for you. Beyond the haunted rooms and the restless bar, the hallways themselves have a life of their own. Guests walking alone at night often hear the steady sound of footsteps behind them. When they turn, no one is there. Shadows move along the walls, even when the lights are still. Some say you can hear faint conversations, like echoes from decades ago, voices trapped in the plaster, playing over and over. Cleaning staff whisper about being followed by cold spots that cling to their backs, and about hearing laughter, children's laughter, where no children are staying. The air feels heavier the further you go, as if the entire building breathes in unison with you. This is not just a hotel. It is a maze of memories, and some of those memories do not want to be forgotten. Backhand index pointing right, and here's where I'll remind you, subscribe right now. Because you might think you'll never set foot in the Monte Vista. But what if tonight, your own hallway sounds the same? What if your own walls whisper back? Nearly a century has passed since the Hotel Monte Vista first opened its doors in 1927. Presidents, actors, musicians, and travelers have all checked in. But not every guest has checked out. Some come to stay because of the stories. Others leave early, swearing they'll never return. But the Monte Vista remains, watching, waiting. It is more than a landmark. It is a vessel. A place where joy, violence, love, and death are forever woven together. To spend one night here is to gamble with your sanity. You may hear a knock that has no visitor. You may feel a touch when no one is near. You may wake to find the past sitting right beside your bed. And when dawn finally breaks over the Arizona mountains, you'll step outside with relief, telling yourself it was all imagination. But the Monte Vista doesn't care what you believe. It only cares that you came. Backhand index pointing right. So let me ask you one last time. Will you let this story fade, or will you carry it forward? Hit subscribe right now, because if these voices are forgotten, they will only grow louder, searching for someone new to hear them. And maybe, the next listener will be you.